All right, everyone, back for another video. I wanted to talk about gold, silver, and cryptocurrency allocation in your overall financial portfolio, as it were, as a total percentage of your wealth that you are looking to protect and that you are looking to grow. I've done other videos where I've talked about the value of metals and the value of cryptocurrency from my perspective. As I mentioned, gold, silver have a long track record of preserving your wealth in the past, and I believe they will also continue to perform like that and have that attribute, as it were, moving forward. I also talked about how I have some gold and silver as a speculative investment that I'm looking for it to increase in price and purchasing power in the coming months and years. I've also talked about cryptocurrency kind of acting the same way. So I want to talk about today about how I allocate my total percentage of wealth of my financial portfolio. I got a bug by me here. Of my total portfolio, my total financial net worth in precious metals and cryptocurrency. Now, if you watch videos, you read articles, you read books, you probably have heard that, a lot of people, especially if you watch the financial networks, they'll say, well, maybe a maximum of 5% of your total financial worth in your investment should go into precious metals, no more than that. And some people will take it even a little bit higher than that, but it's really, in my opinion, that's super conservative, because what I'm looking at is, how do I use gold and silver as an anchor, as my, it's my hedge against economic chaos? And 5% is too small, in my opinion, for myself to be able to provide myself and my family with protection moving forward with what we're going through right now, what's coming down the pike for us. So one of the things that I keep in mind, I listen to everybody and their opinions on cryptocurrency, gold, silver, a lot of different types of investing and finance advice from all spectrums, like people who are just getting started, people who have been in the business for a long time. I listen to amateurs like myself, and I also listen to hedge fund managers and institutional investors and see what they're doing. I place a lot of credence on the people who are wealthier than I am, who have more experience, more time in the market, who know people, know strategies for protecting their wealth and growing it, because they have more money than I do. They have more financial freedom than I do, and I want to learn from people who know more than I do. I don't want to, take most of my advice and follow in the footsteps of people who have less money, less financial freedom than I do, because that gets me nowhere. I was listening to a video the other day, and it's starting to rain here, so I might need to move the camera in just a bit. But I was listening to a video the other day, and I'm sorry I didn't bookmark it, I didn't save it, so I can't point you at it. But it was a great video I was listening to on one of the channels that covers financial stuff, and is in particular wealth preservation and protection in regards to gold and silver. I'm going to move the camera in because we got rain coming. But so I was really interested in what this guy was having to say, right? And he was talking about how he had his firm. They had a lot of very high net worth individuals who came to them for wealth preservation, wealth protection. And so I was really interested to see what he had to say. And what he was saying, he said his high net worth clients would typically have at least 25% of their overall financial assets in gold and silver, and some people even had more. And I thought, okay, that's a great guideline that I can listen to people who have a lot more money, a lot more financial resources than I do, as to what they're doing, because I believe that people with more experience, more knowledge have oftentimes a better eyesight, as it were, into the future and what the future might hold for them, for the rest of the world. And I like that, because what I have historically kept in my assets, the way I allocate my financial resources, is I've always kept 20% of my overall wealth in precious metals. That 20% is what I consider my anchor. It is the stuff that I don't want to sell in my lifetime. I want to be able to pass on to my kids. It's only there as a last resort if everything went to hell. I've got 20% of my wealth in precious metals. That really is my anchor in the stormy waters of economic turmoil that we are no doubt going to go through. Recently, in a recent video that I did, I also talked about I have another pile, as it were, of gold and silver that I use for speculation. So what I've done, particularly in the past 6 months, is I've got 20% of my wealth as my anchor in precious metals, and I've allocated another 10% of my wealth to speculation in gold and silver using ETFs, that you can buy through your brokerage account for speculation, because I believe the price and the purchasing power of gold and silver is going to increase in the coming months and years. So that's what I've got. 20% as my anchor and 10% is the speculation. I've also historically held about 10% of my wealth in cryptocurrency. And that, again, I see mostly as my anchor in crypto. I intend to hold on to that for a long time, give it to my kids at some point as also being what I consider a financial anchor. So 10% is my anchor in crypto. I got 20% in precious metals because it's got a longer track record. But I believe cryptocurrency has a bigger upside, a bigger potential price increase and purchasing power increase than metals do. But in addition to that 10% of anchor, as it were, in crypto, I also have another 10% that I've begun allocating in the recent months towards speculation in crypto. So I buy some of my crypto through an ETF in my brokerage account. I use the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust primarily for that, and that's where I invest in crypto in a very speculative manner, because I expect the price to go up, and when it does, what I can then do is very quickly, with a few keystrokes, sell some or all of that crypto that I've been speculating on in order to get cash back into my brokerage account, so I can buy other assets like stocks, or withdraw the money and buy something else, land, real estate, whatever it is I'm looking for at that point in time. So I have 10% of my total portfolio, my total assets are in cryptocurrency for the long haul. That's my anchor, and another 10% for speculation. So between metals and crypto, I have a combined 30% of my wealth as my anchor, and I've got 20% for speculation. So that that's 50% right there. The other 50% I spread out, and I've got more cash right now sitting in the bank on the sidelines than usual, because I think there are going to be some good deals coming along. But I've got the rest of that 50% split between cash and also things like real estate, farmland, and dividend stocks, because I want the stocks that I own not to just be speculative. A lot of people invest only in growth stocks, which can be a good idea in good times, but can really come back and burn you in bad times. And that's why primarily for stocks, I focus on dividend stocks, because they pay me a quarterly or annual dividend to actually own them. And there's solid American companies that have been around for a long time, and I expect will be around long past my lifetime. That's essentially how I do it. So that's, different people have different opinions as to how much gold, silver, and crypto they should have in their overall total portfolio. And, I've got my views. That's how I do it. What was I going to say? So I'll do a video for those of you who haven't used cryptocurrency, who really don't know what it's all about. Excuse me on that. I must have the Rona. All right, there, I'm done. I'm recovered. That's amazing. So I'll do a video for those of you who haven't gotten into crypto, and kind of give you the high level basics. There's a ton of stuff on YouTube. Do your own research, but I'll give you a high level overview. I'm not going to go down the rabbit path of how to do everything with it. There's plenty of stuff out there. Do your research. If you want to head down that route of speculating in crypto, or putting some of your anchor, as it were, into crypto, do that research, get familiar, get knowledgeable, take action, because I believe for all of us, our time is fairly limited. If you haven't started taking action to protect yourself, protect your assets in precious metals, in cryptocurrency, your time is, I don't think you have a whole lot of time to do this. I mean, you get in at any point, but you don't want to get in, and at a later point and say, man, I wish I got in earlier. So I think it's really wise. So again, like if I had $1,000 to invest total, $1,000, the way I do it is I would put $200 of that into precious metals. At that small amount, I would take it all in physical coins, physical bars, and just keep that at home or someplace safe. Like $200 goes into precious metals as my anchor in stormy waters. I never want to sell that unless I absolutely have to. I want to be able to pass it on to my kids. Another 10% or $100 would go into ETFs. through my brokerage account because I want to speculate on the price of silver and gold increasing, the purchasing power increasing as well. I put 10% into cryptocurrency that I intend to never sell. It's kind of my anchor in the digital money world. And another 10% into essentially a speculative investment because I believe, again, just like with precious metals, the price and the purchasing power are likely to increase as we move through the next few months and even the coming years. So a lot of people that speculate on the price of crypto, it's all speculation. In my opinion, it's going to rise over time. The only question is how much, what's the price going to be? When are we going to get there? And ultimately, even no matter what the price is, if one Bitcoin goes up from $12,000, which is where it is right now, to $1 million, that doesn't matter if bread rises to $1,000 a loaf, right? We want the price of crypto or the price of metals to increase beyond the increase in food prices and commodity prices and things we buy all around us, because it's got to beat inflation. If it just keeps up with inflation, it's not really increasing in purchasing power. It's protecting our wealth. It's protecting our purchasing power, because if the prices of bread and vehicles and real estate rise around you, and you just have cash sitting in the bank, your purchasing power is degraded. So that's why I think it's wise to do it. Again, I want to do this video just to talk about how I allocate, my portfolio as a percentage in precious metals and cryptocurrency. A portion of that, again, is to act as my anchor. I want it to be around forever, as long as possible. I only want to go there and sell it if I absolutely have to. I'm hitting rock bottom. And the other percentage is there for speculation, so I can see and recognize some gains from that to be able to use that to purchase other assets. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully this gave you guys some information, some useful stuff that might help guide you down the path of your financial and wealth preservation journey. So if you have any questions about this, you've got additional comments, put them down below in the comments for other people. Share your information, share your thoughts. Different opinions are always good. I always love getting different opinions, because it gives me different ideas for how to do things. And a lot of times I combine information from different people. That's how we learn. That's how we improve ourselves. And again, as I've said, money is so important. You need to have food, you need to have water, you need to have shelter, you need to have security like firearms or whatever it is that you can get. You need to have a plan B with what's coming our way, because I think it's going to get bad. I think we've just seen the tip of the spear, folks, in terms of what's happening around the world, in the U.S., in the U.K., in Australia, different places around the world. I've seen a lot of unrest, a lot of lockdowns, a lot of restrictions, a lot of loss of freedom, a lot of loss of liberty. And there's going to be economic ruin happening. I mean, Turkey right now, just as one last note, Turkey right now is suffering from a currency crisis. We've seen countries like Venezuela just gone through the horrible experience of hyperinflation. And the only people that are really in a good place are the people that bought gold and silver. And that's a good lesson as to why I think gold and silver, precious metals, are valuable to have. But it's horrible when you go through hyperinflation. We are at risk in the U.S. and elsewhere, and basically every country where we make use of fiat currency, which is every country in the world. We are at great risk of not only devaluing of the purchasing power of that fiat currency, but we're heading on the path, I believe, towards hyperinflation in places that we never thought we'd see this. Turkey is one of those places where they've started to see the purchasing power of their, I believe it's the lira, Turkish lira, decrease significantly, and people are going out, they're selling vehicles, they're selling different things, they're trying to buy gold. And the reports I've read is nobody's wanting to sell their gold because they know it's valuable, they know it's going to protect their wealth. People are only looking to buy gold. And that's gold coins, that's gold bars. A lot of people will utilize gold jewelry. That's very popular. Gold jewelry is a very popular way of buying gold in places like India. And it's one way that if you ever have to get out of the country and cross borders, guess what? You can only take a certain amount of coins or bars of gold or silver across the border, but they don't look at the jewelry you're wearing. That's one of the reasons I think people like the jewelry, because they can pass through the customs, the normal, financial monetary restrictions that you get when you cross borders. So anyway, something to think about. I'll come back and do more videos. Again, I will do a video for those of you who are brand new to crypto, but do your own research. There's a ton of stuff out there. I'm not going to go into very much detail. I'll do one video that gives you some basics on how to get started. That's it. And I'll talk about more about gold, silver, other ways to protect your assets, and just to get prepared for that, what I believe is the economic reset that we're heading towards. It's inevitable, folks. This is the path we're on. No matter how much we speak out, no matter how much we protest, as it were, it's happening because people aren't waking up. People aren't waking up to what's actually happening. They aren't waking up to the lies, the deceptions that are out there. They're just kind of following along. They're acquiescing to the demands, the ridiculous, tyrannical, authoritarian demands of politicians, of leaders, of governments. It's just, we're not heading towards a good place, folks. It's not going to get better anytime soon. So for all those things that you feel like you've lost, the ability to travel, the ability to go to a restaurant, to go to a concert, to get together with your friends, whatever it is, be thankful for the times and the opportunities you had to do that. Because I think it's going to be one of the last times you've already had that. One of the last times that you had was what you already had. You don't have that now. But what you had isn't going to come back for a while. Probably a long time, if ever. I hope it comes back, because I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to go to restaurants, be able to go to events, be able to get together with people without being arrested, without being fined. So do you. So do we all. But I think it's going to be a while. Anyway, you guys take care, stay safe, think ahead, educate yourselves, and be a victor, not a victim. Until next time, wish you guys all the best of luck and everything. Good luck. God bless. Godspeed.